There's a truth about wealth that the world doesn't tell you. A truth buried beneath distractions, fear, and false beliefs. They will teach you how to earn a living, but never how to design a life. They will fill your mind with limitations, and call it realism. They will convince you that success belongs to the lucky. That wealth is a game of chance. That greatness is reserved for the chosen few. But I am here to tell you, they are wrong. Wealth is not an accident. It is not born of luck or circumstance. Wealth is created, first in the mind, then in reality. Every empire, every fortune, every revolution of progress began with a single idea in the mind of one person, who refused to accept the world as it was, and dared to imagine what it could be. Andrew Carnegie built steel empires not because he had money, but because he had vision. Henry Ford didn't inherit wealth, he invented it through faith and precision. Thomas Edison didn't stumble upon the light bulb by chance. He created it after thousands of failures that most men would have called insanity. Disney was laughed at, Jobs was fired, Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. And yet, every one of them tapped into the same universal truth. That the mind, when focused, disciplined, and obsessed with purpose, has no equal power on this earth. They don't want you to know this truth. Because the moment you do, you become unstoppable. You see, true wealth begins not with money, but with mentality. The poor mind asks, how much will this cost me? The rich mind asks, what will this teach me? The average person sees risk. The wealthy see opportunity. One sees loss, the other sees leverage. The greatest secret the wealthy understand is that everything begins and ends with thought. You are always programming your reality, whether you know it or not. The thoughts you repeat become beliefs. Your beliefs become decisions. Your decisions become actions. And your actions carve the destiny of your life. You cannot think scarcity and live abundance. You cannot think limitation and expect freedom. You cannot wake up doubting yourself and expect to win. The world around you mirrors the world within you. Change the internal script, and the external story must follow. But that's the part they never teach. Because a liberated mind cannot be controlled. A person who thinks independently cannot be manipulated. And a person who knows their worth cannot be bought cheaply. Wealth begins the moment you realize you were never meant to work for money. You were meant to make money work for you. Money is not your master, it is your mirror. It reflects your courage, your discipline, your clarity, and your control. It flows where attention and intention go. So ask yourself, what are you giving your attention to? Is it fear, doubt, distraction, or is it vision, faith, and daily action? Because your mind is a garden, and whatever you plant, grows. We live in a time where most people chase wealth the wrong way. They chase the appearance, not the essence. They chase the symbols, the cars, the watches, the image, instead of the principles that create lasting prosperity. They want the fruit, without planting the seed. But you cannot fake vibration. You cannot hide energy. You cannot build wealth while operating from poverty within. True wealth begins with inner mastery. It begins when you stop looking for quick success, and start building a foundation of value, purpose, and vision. It begins when you stop blaming circumstances, and start mastering yourself. That's the first truth they don't want you to know. Wealth is a byproduct of who you become. You will never attract more than you are prepared to handle. So if you want more, become more. Grow your skill, your vision, your leadership, your faith. When you evolve, your results evolve. People say, when I have money, I'll change my life. No, when you change your life, you'll have money. Because the world doesn't pay for intentions, it pays for results. And results come from a mind that refuses to be average. Think about the men and women who built history. Every one of them had something in common. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't ask, what if I fail? They asked, what if I succeed? They didn't let fear make their decisions. They made decisions that silenced fear. That's why wealth always gravitates toward those who move with conviction. Because conviction is magnetic. Uncertainty repels opportunity, but clarity attracts it. So ask yourself, do you know what you truly want? Not what society told you to want. Not what your family expects. Not what your peers will applaud. But what your soul burns for when the world is silent. The wealthy live by purpose, not pressure. They create from vision, not validation. They are not distracted by what others are doing, because they are too focused on what they are becoming. The truth is, wealth follows those who master energy, not effort. Effort alone burns you out. Energy, directed with clarity and faith, multiplies. That's why one person can work 16 hours a day and stay broke, while another works 6 with precision and becomes a millionaire. It's not the hours that count. It's the alignment behind them. Energy without direction is chaos. Direction without belief is hesitation. But belief combined with action, that's power. They don't want you to know that wealth is spiritual before it's financial. Every fortune begins as an act of faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your vision, faith in something greater. Edison had faith that the world would see light before anyone else did. Ford had faith that the common man deserved to drive. Wright brothers had faith that humans could fly. Every time history advances, it's because someone dared to believe before it was convenient to. Faith is the currency of creation. Money only follows where faith has already built the foundation. If you lack faith, no amount of strategy will save you. But if you have faith, even a small idea can grow into a dynasty. That's the second truth about wealth. It's built on invisible work. The inner game always precedes the outer gain. While the world chases trends, the wise master their temperament. While others complain about timing, the wealthy create timing. Because they understand, you don't wait for the perfect moment, you make it perfect through preparation. Success doesn't come to those who wish. It comes to those who prepare while others sleep. Those who study while others scroll. Those who invest while others spend. Those who build while others doubt. You must develop the mindset of a builder. Patient, disciplined, unwavering. Because real wealth is not in the money you earn. It's in the person you become while earning it. The poor man measures success in dollars. The wealthy man measures it in freedom, in peace, in mastery. Because money without wisdom is lost fast. But wisdom will create money forever. The world is filled with people chasing shortcuts. But there are none. You can cheat a test. You can fake an image. But you can't cheat vibration. You can't fake energy. If you are not aligned with what you desire, you will push it away no matter how hard you chase it. So instead of chasing, attract. Become the kind of person wealth wants to stay with. A person of integrity, creativity, and strength. A person who handles obstacles with calm precision. A person who doesn't fold when things get difficult. That's why most people never reach true wealth. They want the reward, not the responsibility. They want the outcome, not the process. They want the fruit without watering the roots. But wealth is a test. It asks, can you handle more? Can you stay disciplined when no one's watching? Can you act with faith when results haven't arrived yet? Can you control your emotions when money tempts you to lose focus? Because wealth isn't about what you get, it's about what you hold. And only the mentally disciplined can hold it. Discipline is the unspoken law of success. Without it, vision dies. Without it, desire decays. Without it, opportunity slips away. Look at any great builder. Rockefeller, Musk, Bezos, Gates. Every one of them mastered discipline before dominance. They understood that freedom is not the absence of control. It's the mastery of self-control. You will never attract what you can't manage. And you can't manage what you can't measure. So measure your time, your thoughts, your habits. Because these are the real investments that compound daily. People ask, what's the fastest way to success? There is none. There's only the real way, and that's through daily excellence. Do what others won't. Study when others rest. Persist when others give up. Because wealth doesn't reward the impatient, it rewards the prepared. They don't want you to know that mediocrity is expensive. It costs you dreams. It costs you confidence. It costs you years. Every day you spend living below your potential, you're paying a tax called regret. And it compounds faster than interest ever will. You were not born to live paycheck to paycheck. You were born to create, to build, to lead. You were designed to take the invisible and make it visible. But first, you must believe that you can. Because belief is the seed of destiny. If you believe small, you live small. If you believe boldly, you rise boldly. Your results are nothing but reflections of your internal permission slip. Grant yourself permission to be wealthy. To think big. to move different, to expect more. Because wealth doesn't respond to hesitation, it responds to authority. And authority begins within. They don't want you to know that the wealthiest people on earth think in decades, not days. They build foundations, not fantasies. They understand that every small, consistent effort builds momentum that can move mountains. Patience is the most underrated form of power. While others demand immediate results, the wealthy understand delay is not denial. Every great thing takes time to mature. The tree that bears fruit the longest always starts with the deepest roots. So plant your roots deep. In discipline, in faith, in purpose. Because when storms come, and they will, those roots will hold you steady. Wealth is not just about accumulation, it's about elevation. It's about using what you've earned to lift others, to build legacies, to create impact. Because if your wealth dies with you, it was never truly wealth. It was just numbers. But when your ideas live on, when your name becomes a symbol of courage, when your work outlives your lifetime, that's when you've achieved real wealth. You see, the final truth they don't want you to know is that wealth is a responsibility. It's power, and power reveals character. It exposes the real you. If you are greedy, it amplifies greed. If you are generous, it amplifies good. That's why you must build your mind before you build your money. Because money doesn't change you, it exposes you. So if you want to create wealth that lasts, build principles that last longer than profit. Operate from integrity, not impulse. Because integrity compounds just like capital. Slowly, silently, but powerfully. The world needs more builders, more creators, more givers. Not just consumers. It needs people who rise not because they want to be seen, but because they want to make a difference. That's what Napoleon Hill meant when he said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Not through chance, but through conscious creation." You are not here to fit in. You are here to break the pattern. You are not here to chase. You are here to command. You are not here to survive. You are here to build. So let them talk. Let them doubt. While they gossip, you grow. While they spend, you invest. While they hesitate, you execute. Because one day, they'll call you lucky. Not realizing that luck is simply the residue of disciplined faith. Wealth isn't about privilege, it's about pattern. It's about thinking differently, acting decisively, and believing relentlessly. The truth about wealth is simple. It belongs to the ones who claim it. Not by entitlement, but by evolution. So rise. Think like the wealthy before you are wealthy. Move like a leader before anyone calls you one. And build with the confidence of someone who already owns the outcome. Because wealth is not something you chase. It's something you become. And the moment you become it, the world will rearrange itself to prove you right.